Ništa, ajmo ovako, sada idemo, gdje ćemo da idemo? Idemo na... Idemo u ovaj deo. Ja mislim da bi ovdje trebalo da dođem. Tu bi trebalo da se nalazi, preturnite usno, idemo na long pad. Ovdje. Jeste. Ajmo vidimo šta on hoće.
What are you? Private eye?
No, I'm a police inspector.
Who are you looking for?
I'm investigating a death in the village.
That student, then. They did one last year, too. Same place.
Did what?
Drowned a student. Ask that psycho about it. He runs that business cult thing up at the big house. Bunch of nut jobs.
Hey, what was the student's name?
Liam... something? Or son?
What the fuck? Bukvalno nam lik...
Atlas's reputation precedes them. I think I might call the station. Find out a bit more about this Liam.
Ok. Bukvalno ništa se spec nije desilo, ajmo da vidimo šta ovdje kaže.
Mike, it's Jenks.
Jenks, I thought you'd clocked off tonight.
Yeah, the chief's put me on a case tonight, the Edenton girl.
Friday night, you poor sod. I thought that was sorted out anyway.
I wish it was. Listen, are you near a computer?
I can be, yeah, go on.
Do you know anything about a death last year? Someone called Liam in Edenton Village?
Don't remember it. Hang on, let's have a look. Edenton Village. Yeah, Liam Rogers. Says suicide last year.
Suicide?
Hang on, 2 suicides in 2 years, both in Edenton. Blimey, you've got your work cut out, Jenksy.
Yeah, don't I know it.
Right, well, good luck with that and see you Monday.
Thanks, Mike.
What the fuck. Ok. Ajde ovako sad. Trebalo bi možda da odemo kod ovih... Simona i njega. Mislim da bi tu trebali da vidimo da se malo preispitamo o svemu tome. Edmund Lodge. Knock for Simon. Idemo kod Simon.
There you go. Come on. Cute. Smells nice. What is that?
Chili pork.
I have no idea you were a cook.
Oh, no, I used to be more into it. No, I don't do it so much. Used to grow my own herbs and everything.
Oh, here?
No, at the farmhouse where I used to live.
Oh, where was that?
That's where James lives. Yeah, we used to share a house together. The farmer used to let us use a corner on his greenhouse to grow stuff.
I didn't know you knew James that well.
Well, didn't really get on.
Where are the greenhouses?
Well, it's just through the farmyard at the back.
Interesting.
Ajmo ovako.
What do you know about Liam?
Liam?
Local lad. Took his money.
Oh, that Liam! Yeah, I heard about him.
But you didn't know him?
No, I know he went to college, but didn't really know him. It's sad though.
Ja ne znam ništa. Dobro. Da bi sad mogli da ga pitamo. Ok, on tu ništa ne zna o tome, tako da, ajmo ovako. Idemo exit, idemo da intervjušemo... Idemo da intervjušamo, da pitamo isto pitanje. Vezano za Liama, tako da može.
What do you know about a student called Liam? Committed suicide last year.
Only that I didn't know really well.
I to je to. I didn't know very well. Ok, ništa, idemo onda. Idemo izlazimo.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
Bukvalno ništa pametno nismo saznali, dobro. Ajmo ovako. Idemo do Atlasa, tu smo još u prošloj epizodi trebali da odemo, tako da... Ajmo da vidimo. Enter the Atlas building. Idemo unutra.
Ryan was
Ajmo.
interviewed in the lounge, according to the report. That must be his office.
Da, ajmo da vidimo, da probamo. Ok, tu je.
Ryan!
Tu je Ryan.
Detective Inspector Jenks, I'm conducting an investigation in the area. Wouldn't mind asking you a few questions, is that all right?
Come in, Inspector.
Thank you.
Ali mu je čudno, a? More, neće ti biti čudno ako si neko sranje napravio.
Drink, Inspector.
I'd better not, eh?
So you wanted to speak to me?
I believe that Kate Vine was a student at Atlas.
Kate Vine? Well, yes, she was. All of this has been thoroughly investigated, Inspector. It was suicide.
Well, we have reason to believe there may be rather more to it than that.
Really? Well, then, in that case, I'd be prepared to assist in any way
Kako se
possible.
čudno palaš.
Thank you.
A pleasure.
Dosta je sumnjiv, boga mi. Bome je dosta sumnjiv. Ajmo ovako. Kate Vine Death Pro.
I believe the last time you saw Kate Vine was at the pub last Friday, then you came straight back with some of the students, is that right?
Yes, I like to have a glass of port or two after a long day, and benefits of being married to the landlady.
How did she seem that night?
The landlady?
Kate.
Oh, Kate. Well, she was her usual self, drunk.
Kako budal.
That was usual.
It was for her, yes. I mean, it didn't impair her ability, though. She was a very bright star, lots of potential, very enthusiastic.
So she seemed to be enjoying the course.
Well, as far as anybody could tell, yes.
When did you first meet her?
When she joined about 3 months ago.
And you hadn't met her before then?
No.
So you didn't suspect there was anything wrong?
Well, do you mean, did I expect her to drown herself? Of course I didn't inspect her. It was quite a shock. Nobody expected that.
Ok, ajmo ovako licenca.
Have you seen this before?
Not that I recall.
You don't know whether Kate had lost this or not?
No, I've never seen it before, sorry.
Kako zabagovo. A, da. Ok.
Does Simon Thompson ride a bike, do you know?
I think so, yes. I think he drives as well, but I might be mistaken.
Dobro, sljedeće ide pitanje vezano za ovo čudo.
Have you tried Simon's homebrew?
Does he make homebrew? No, I haven't had the pleasure, sorry.
Idemo necklace.
Know what this is?
Yes, it's a freedom necklace. It's a symbol that we use on the course. It's supposed to represent freedom from the chains of your ancestry.
Have you ever bought one of these?
I haven't, but I've seen the students wearing them.
Dobro. Black window.
What do you know about the broken window at the back of the pub?
Oh, Rebecca told me about it. I don't know how it got smashed, though. I told her to tape over it. We can't have anybody cutting themselves. You have to be very health and safety conscious these days.
Bome, ova ima baš čudne odgovore. Ajmo za maske.
Can you tell me about this?
Haven't seen that for a while. We had a friend who used to make them for us for the course. He passed away last year.
What does the symbol mean?
It's borrowed from paganism. It's the symbol of the triple goddess, the mother, maiden, and crone, represented by the waxing and waning of the moon. It's an ancient symbol. It predates Christianity. Some people say that it dates back to Paleolithic times.
And is that relevant to the course?
Well, no. I mean, it's a symbol we dabbled with, but it's not particularly relevant. We don't use it on the course, no.
Ok.
Do you know anything about an argument in the pub last Friday?
What time?
I believe it wasn't long after the pub opened.
No. I usually leave for the manor house about 6. I start preparations around 6:30. I like to get a head start.
Dobro.
tell me about this?
It's the first one we ever had made. We had it designed by an agency after we'd spent weeks trying to find a name for this place.
It took you weeks.
Don't be like that, Inspector. I thought it was a rather grand name. Actually, if I'm being honest, I plucked it out of thin air one night in the George while I was having a few gin and tonics. Well, actually, somebody left a book and I stole it.
Baš i nije toliko smešno, ovaj lik je baš sumnjiv da ti, on kaže iskreno, kaj Black Mirror da ga pitam o tom.
Have you seen one of these before?
I believe that looks like a scrying mirror to me.
You have seen one before?
Well, I used to have one myself, actually, along with lots of other bits and pieces of that nature. Silly things, you know.
Really?
Yes, when I was in my teenage years, I had quite an obsession with that kind of thing. I was a very somber child, and well, not that you could tell, always playing fantasy games, reading books about that kind of malarkey, you know.
What sort of books did you read?
Well, books on black magic, not the chocolates, witchcraft, satanic rituals, that kind of thing. I grew out of it, of course.
But you're not into that sort of thing now.
Of course I'm not. I don't need to believe in the supernatural, Inspector. The natural world is far more interesting. Don't you think so?
Ovo treće.
What can you tell me about Liam?
Oh, Liam. You mean the boy who committed very unfortunate, isn't it?
Did you know him?
Oh, yes. Well, when I say know him, I met him in the pub. Seemed very happy sort of person. Well, I say he seemed happy. He can't have been, can he?
Dobro, ništa. To je to za
Be
sad.
back later on, if that's okay.
Ajmo da vidimo na ovoj drugoj strani što se dešava, pa ćemo onda da vidimo šta dalje. Moramo ovdje nešto da istražimo. Nemamo, tako da izlazimo napolje. Rekao da vidimo da možemo nešto da istražimo, ali ne možemo ništa, tako da idemo nazad. Da, idemo izlazimo, to je to. To nema šta. Sada vidimo šta ćemo dalje. Ok, od ovog lika nismo otkrili apsolutno ništa spec, što se kaže. Tako da bukvalno ništa nemamo. Ali ajmo ovako. Ajmo ovdje. I ajmo... Sam ja to isključio iskreno. Ok, evo ga, vratili smo ga konačno, ja sam pronašao šta trebam da vratim. Ali dobro. Ok, idemo ovdje levo. Idemo što se ovdje dešava.
Do you mind not defacing public property, please?
What's it to you?
Well, I'm a policeman.
And that's supposed to make what difference exactly?
It means you do exactly what I tell you to do.
Or what? Or you arrest me?
No, I'll give you a fine this time.
So, if I do something that you don't like, I have to give you some money? What happens if you do something that I don't like? You're going to give me some money?
Look, I do not have time to discuss it at the moment. Can you just go?
Pathetic.
Ovaj lik nije normalan. Ok. Jedan fini znakić. Eto,
What
ne...
a prize brat. But why would he carve that into a tree? Either he's a die-hard rock fan, or there's more to that symbol than meets the eye.
Ko će ga znati iskreno da vam kažem. Ajmo ovamo nazad. Ulazimo u building. Idemo da vidimo, odmah da pitamo vezano za to. Sve to omašio ili... Da, omašio se. Sam debil. Nema veze. Nebitno. greška.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Ajmo da ga
If
pitam
I
momču.
did this, would that mean anything to you?
It's a devil sign, isn't it? Is that what you're getting at, Inspector?
This is not something you use on the
Of course
course.
it's not something we use on the course, Inspector. I don't even know what that could possibly mean exactly.
Ok, sad moramo nešto da ga pitam, pošto smo dobili to. Ja ne znam šta bi mogao da ga
Ok,
pitam, tako
that's
da
it for
ništa.
now.
Idemo
Thank you.
dalje. Da vidimo ovdje da smo nešto novo možda dobili, da istražimo. Nismo ništa kako ja vidim. Dobro, nema veze. Ajmo ovako onda. Idemo ovdje, ja mislim. I idemo... Sad. Gdje bi trebali mi zapravo da odemo? Ajmo ovdje. Mislim da treba da odemo kod onog lika, nismo tu ništa isto ispitali da vidimo što možemo još da dobijemo od informacije.
Simon mentioned another greenhouse on the farm. Must be up the hill over there.
Greenhouse. Ali ovdje nismo ništa bukvalno dobili sve, tako da... Ok, ajmo. Ajmo dalje. Aha, ovdje imamo nešto. Idemo into. Ulazimo unutra da vidimo šta tu imamo, možemo da istražimo. Ovdje možemo nešto da istražimo? Da, možemo, odlično. Ajmo da vidimo šta je to.
I wonder if James knows this is here. Don't know what it is, but be interesting to see what he says about it.
Opa. Opa, Đurđo. Samo sekund, baš me zanima da imamo što smo dobili. Packet of dried leaves. Ok. Zanimljivo, zanimljivo. Sad da vidimo di ćemo sada što se kaže. Ajmo ovako. Da ga pitamo malo o tome.
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
Ajmo ovako, prvo idemo njega, nismo pitali uopšte vezano za ove stvari. Sa Liamom i ostalo.
Liam who died.
You mean Liam who killed himself?
Yeah.
He was in my year, on a different course.
What course was Liam on?
Can't remember, not mine.
What was yours?
Plant science. First time I knew about Liam was when he killed himself.
Right, so you didn't meet him.
Ok, ništa, idemo hand symbol da ga pitamo.
If I did that, would it mean anything to you?
Yeah, it's a Satanism symbol. Satanists use it.
Have you ever seen anyone using it?
Lots of people. Politicians, presidents, CEOs.
Have you ever seen anyone local using it?
Not that I remember.
Ovo je bre, nikad ništa ne znaju, tad i ovo da ga pitao.
Could you tell me what these are, please? I found them in the greenhouse.
Been snooping around on the farm, have we?
It's called investigating, James.
Yeah. It's just mint. Mint leaves. For cooking.
Yeah, I heard you were a bit of a budding chef.
Dabble a bit. Won a few competitions.
Very impressive. So you normally just leave packets of mint lying around?
Must have dropped it.
Da. Kako da ne.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Ok, i tu smo ispitali sve što smo mogli da ispitamo. Sad, idemo do puba. Mislim da tu još nismo pitali onu likošu. Evo zvonce.
A couple more questions, if that's okay.
Ajmo da je pitamo
Do you know
to.
what these are?
Ah, magic mint.
Magic
Where
man.
did you find this?
Magic mint.
Salvia divinorum. I used to grow it years ago. It makes you trip.
In what way?
It's a hallucinogenic and legal. Quite a dangerous combination, really.
Do you use it?
Me? No. No, I don't even take medicines. I like to stay pure.
Ali to stay
I
pure.
didn't expect Rebecca to know about growing drugs. I know she claims not to use them herself, but I'm not so sure.
Ok, ajde vidimo ovo
If I
ostalo.
did this, would that mean anything to you?
Why is it meant to mean something?
No, it's okay.
Ok, ne znam ništa o tome, ajmo da imamo
What do you
Liamu.
know about Liam?
You mean Liam who took his life? He used to play in a band, Black Rock or something? No, Black Stone. Very gothic. I used to let them play in here sometimes at the weekends. They
O,
were quite
možda
good.
zato
Did
policaj
you know
zna.
there was anything wrong? I mean, why he might have...
No, I didn't know him very well.
Ok, možda zbog toga i pokazuje taj znak. Dok, ništa
Thank
ok.
you. Probably be back later.
E, sada vidimo gdje ćemo sad. Sad možemo da idemo kod Edena i Lodža. Eden Lodge, Simon i Emma. Evo, right. I idemo knock for the Simon.
A few more questions, please. Thank you.
Ajmo napitamo prvo o ovom simbolu.
If I did this, would that mean anything to you?
Who did you see doing that?
Someone in the woods carving it into a tree.
That was Kyle. It's a guy from the course. He's an idiot.
And where does he live?
I can't remember. Somewhere outside the village? The three fingers thing is something the students started doing. It's something from the course. The three freedoms.
The what?
What?
Three freedoms? It's from the course. It's a phrase.
Free to be free.
Free yourself from the things that are holding you back, right? Things that stop you being successful.
What are they?
There's fear of failure, guilt, and doubting, self-doubt.
You believe that?
Yeah. Guilt ruins lives. It stops you looking forward. It serves no practical purpose. It's basically destructive.
Right.
Ok.
Free to be free. Not the most original slogan, but I wonder how far this freedom goes.
Šta da ga pitamo o Liamu? Ne, nismo ga pitali o ovom.
Know what these are?
Pardon, o Liamu, jesmo o ovome nismo pitali.
No. Look a bit like sage leaves.
Haven't seen them before, though.
Not at all, no.
Ok, ništa. Ajmo onda da pitamo o ovome.
Ever heard of Salvia divinorum?
Salvia divinorum.
Magic mint, same thing.
Oh, yeah, you mean the drug? Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, ever tried it?
Well, once or twice, yeah. But it's not really my sort of thing. It messes with your brain. I've never tried any other drugs either. Nothing like that. Nothing hallucinogenic.
Svašta. Dok, ništa, idemo ovako, idemo da posjetimo Emu.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
Idemo da pitamo ista pitanja, što se kaže. Ajmo prvo o ovoj
Ever
drogi.
heard of Salvia divinorum?
Yeah, I've heard of it. It's a drug, isn't it?
Yeah, hallucinogenic drug. Ever tried it?
No, I've never taken any illegal substances.
Da bolje od njega, od Simona, koji to i proba.
You know what these are, by any chance?
No. Sorry. I don't know anything about plants or things like that, but you should ask Rebecca. She used to live on a farm. She'd know.
Ok, dobro, ajmo pitamo simbolučiću.
If I did this, would it mean anything to you?
No. Why?
It's okay, thanks.
Dobro. Ništa, to je to. Za sad.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
Ajmo ovako. Pošto je rekao tu na farmi, tako da idemo ovamo dole skroz. I idemo kod onog lika, ja mislim, no tako baš, ja mislim da. Jer ono ovdje baš ja uvijek to prvo zaboravim. Jeste, evo, da, to je to.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
Ajmo ovako, što ga nismo pitali o ovom čudu.
Ever heard of Salvia divinorum, James?
Was that skin cream?
It's not a skin cream, no. It's a plant.
Really? Don't know much about plants.
So you've never heard of Salvia?
No.
A ovaj mislim da laže, ovaj mi je najsumnjiviji, sve se pravi nešto kao ne znam. Ajmo ništa pitam ovaj.
Ever hear the phrase free to be free? Heard anyone use that?
Nah. What is it, a song?
No, I don't think so. Doesn't matter.
I ovaj ništa ne mogu pojaviti. Okej. Ali čekaj sad. Pa nemam nešto da ga pitam, da ajmo da... Mislio sam da nešto, možda neku kombinaciju nekog pitanja, ali... Nema ništa toga. Ne znam šta, vidjet ćemo, da vidimo ko nam je još ostao. Sada se vratimo ovako nazad. Idemo ovako. No, čekaj polako, gdje sam ja otišao nazad. Ubre, ja sam baš promašio. Samo se. Idemo ovdje, idemo lođa i idemo do Eme.
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Jer imamo sad Division, ja, ovog Atlas Phrase.
Do you know the phrase free to be free?
Yeah. It's an Atlas thing. I first heard it when I went with Simon.
What did they say about it?
They said that you shouldn't feel guilty if you do something wrong. I don't agree with that.
No?
No. No, I think you should feel guilty if you do something wrong.
What did Simon think?
I don't know, but I don't think he agreed with that either.
Je, ništa to.
That's it for the time being, thank you.
Sad idemo ovako. Idemo ovdje. I idemo... Ovdje nemamo ništa. Ajmo da vidimo ili imamo nešto možda ovdje. Kojim slučajem? Nemamo za sad ništa ovdje, dobro. Ajmo provjerimo ovdje da li možda nešto imamo. Nemamo ni ovdje ničeg, dobro, ništa, onda idemo direktno do Atlasa. Pošto nemamo, sve nam je to čisto. Nemamo čemu tu da istražujemo, niti bilo šta, tako da... A lagano, ajmo ovdje da vidimo da li smo nešto možda dobili. Opa! Okej.
Would you start a session? Do you mind?
I'm terribly sorry. I'll leave you in peace.
Ali, taj smešak mi je najveći kad je. Okej. Što idemo onda ovdje?
Ask about a few more things, please.
Evo ovako, prvo. Ovoga pitamo ovome.
Do you know what this is?
Looks like chopped tea bags to me. What is it?
I just thought you might know.
I don't know anything about plants, Inspector. What you should do is ask Rebecca. She knows far more about these things than I do. Messy things, growing things.
I ovaj mi isto dosta sumnju. Ajmo vidimo ovome.
Have you ever heard of Salvia divinorum?
No. What is it?
It's a hallucinogenic plant, a legal one, at least for the moment.
I've no interest in drugs, Inspector. My job. That's the only drug I need. As trite as that may sound.
Do you know any students who may have used hallucinogens?
No. My students aren't interested in that kind of thing. Besides, no one is allowed drugs or alcohol onto the site. I don't think anyone has ever brought drugs to Atlas.
Do you have any medicines on site at all?
No, we're not allowed. Insurance purposes.
Dobro. Ajmo da ga pitamo o Atlasu.
can you tell me a bit about the phrase free to be free?
Free to be free, my favourite motto. Well, we teach our students that people, well, they suffer from excessive guilt, don't they? Excessive self-criticism, excessive doubt. Evils of excess, we call them. And we tell our students that if they rid themselves of these evils, then they're free to realise their full potential.
Who came up with all this?
I have a background in psychology.
Honestly?
Yeah, don't look so surprised, Inspector. There's an intellect lurking in here.
When did you come up with the phrase?
When we were based at the village hall. When I say we, I came up with the phrase. Dad's more the money man.
And very successful at it too, I hear.
Oh, he's successful, but he's not a creative man. Dad suffers from a lack of imagination.
Dobro, okej, ništa, to idemo
Thank
dalje.
you. Probably be back later.
Idemo dalje. Ovdje baš i ništa smo nešto proslavili. E sad. Što idemo, izlazimo naprijed. Evo provjerimo opet ova mesta. Možda nešto... Provjerimo ova mesta da vidimo da li imamo nešto ovdje. Nemamo, okej. Jer ovdje uvijek gledam kad dobijemo... Možda dobijemo nešto, okej, ovdje sam već bio, pardon. Left. Ajmo ovdje kod ove rečice. Okej, ništa. Ne, da se vratiš, joj, majka moja mila. Ja sam kož. Ajmo ovdje da provjerim. Boots, no. Vrati se nazad, jao bre, šta je sa mnom, jel si oko pijan, bro? A long path, to sam teo da vidim, nema ništa. Okej, ništa, idemo do Edena. Ili nećemo do Edena, šta ćemo do Edena, njih smo već sve pitali. Ajmo ovdje. Idemo kod ovog lika, pošto ovdje nema drugi deo. Ovamo smo sve pitali koliko se meni čini.
Couple more questions, if that's okay?
Pošto mi ovaj dosta sumnjiv, možemo da ga pitamo o nečemu, samo da imamo nekim frazama ili nešto da spojimo. Ovako, pocket of Liam's James degree. Ok, mogli bi to da ga pitamo i... Ali sa čim bi to mogao da spojim? A pa da, pa sa... Logično. Se pravio da ne zna ništa o tim... A rekao je da je James degree... Ok, ajmo da vidimo. Jel jeste? Jeste.
Aha. So, your degree is in plant science, but you don't seem to know anything about plants.
Well, still got a lot to learn.
So you're still saying you've never heard of salvia?
Didn't say that.
So you have.
Maybe.
And you do grow it.
Yeah, it's legal, why not?
What do you do with it?
I use it for explorative purposes, meditation.
And does this involve anybody else?
Why?
Do you sell it or give it to anybody else? Sure.
Yeah, it's just for me, nobody else.
And that's the only drug you grow, is it?
Feel free to go and look if you want.
It's okay, I'll look later.
The only drug he grows. I'm not sure I believe that, James. Then again, would someone growing illegal drugs bother growing a legal one?
Upravo tako. Samo sekund vidimo. Mislim da je ovo odlično pitanje za njega. Ali šta bi sad mogao da ga pitam drugo? Ovako. Da, sa Salvijom da to ima. James traded Herbal, da, on je znači kao menjao sa Simonom, ok, ali je... Da, pa zato sam... To sam zaboravio na ovaj deo. Jer on je rekao da je kao tradeo, vidiš, a on je pravio kao privat, ajmo vidimo.
Aha. When you say herbal tea, do you mean salvia?
Probably.
So you traded salvia tea with Simon for his homebrew. So why did you say you didn't give salvia to anybody else? Did you give it to anybody else? How many people did you give it to? Did you give it to Kate?
No.
How about Liam?
I didn't have anything to do with him dying, if that's what you mean.
So you did give him salvia?
Yes, I gave him salvia because he asked for it, but that's not what killed him.
Well, he committed suicide, James, because of psychological issues that probably weren't helped by him trying hallucinogenic drugs.
He didn't commit suicide. You don't know anything about him. You don't know what happened.
Okay, so what happened then?
Do you even know about Third Eye?
Go on.
You don't know about Third Eye. You don't know about Third Eye. You know nothing about Liam's death. I mean, forget salvia.
Fine, tell me then.
Third Eye was a cult. We had our very own psycho cult operating right here from our village hall. And I got rid of them, single-handed. I'm the one who got rid of Third Eye. Did they tell you that at the station?
Okay, start again. They were what?
You don't know anything, do you? Look. They were reeling in students, pretending to be some sort of happy life course, you know. We can make your life better sort of crap. Then they were putting everyone through this brainwashing program to make them compliant, and selling them on. It's all there.
What do you mean, selling them on?
Selling them. Objects, commodities.
To who?
To anyone who could afford them. Top politicians, famous celebrities, wealthy businessmen, you name it.
What for?
You don't get it, do you? Third Eye were making and selling slaves. They were black market slave traders. They were wiping people's personalities using ECT, brainwashing, cocktails of hard drugs, deliberately turning them into perfect slaves. You know how much slaves are worth on the black market these days?
No.
Millions. And I'm talking per slave. That's why anyone who stood up to them and threatened to go public like Liam was just killed off. They didn't give a damn.
So you're saying Liam was murdered by Third Eye?
Exactly what I'm saying. So I started looking into it. They were all saying it was suicide, but there's no way.
So, did you ever actually meet Liam?
I found out about him.
And how did you find out about all this other stuff?
Well, it's obvious, you could tell. I met some of the students. You could see straight away there was something wrong. They were like zombies. And I can tell when someone's got ECT damage or when they've been through mind conditioning. It's just obvious. I mean, US military used all these techniques back in the 50s. It's all documented, you can read about it. They showed all the same signs.
So, did you ever actually go to a meeting?
No, but I knew what went on.
How?
From what people said who'd been through it.
Okay, so do you know anyone I could speak to who did go through it?
Well, no. Look, it doesn't matter. Why did they close down if it wasn't true? They just closed down and disappeared overnight after I put all the flyers up. Bit of a coincidence.
But that was just after Liam died.
Yeah.
And do you think that had anything to do with it?
Maybe, but it was the flyers that forced them to close.
Okay. Do you mind if I keep this?
Yeah, you investigate it. It'll all come out. Third Eye definitely killed Liam.
Dobro. Saznali smo
Well,
duge
that was a
informacije.
lot to take in. Does James really believe all this stuff? This is the first I've heard about Third Eye. Question is, what's their connection with Atlas, if there is one? That's all for the moment. Thank you.
Znači, bukvalno, koja je sad tu konekcija s Atlasom, čemu se tu radi, šta se tu dešava, Third Eye kult koji je ubio Liama, znači, kaos, brate, znači koliko smo sad saznali zapravo dobrih informacija. Katastrofa. Ajmo da pitam ovu Rebeku o tome. Baš mi interesuje vidim što će ona da kaže.
Few more questions, please.
Znamo da li imamo nešto da je nismo pitali. Mi smo je pitali o Atlas phrase.
Ever heard the phrase free to be free?
Do you mean the Atlas thing? Yes, I have.
Know what it means?
It means being free of guilt.
What do you think about that?
You mean, do I think it's a bad thing?
Do you? I mean, surely if you have done something wrong.
Oh, but that's the point, Inspector. Most people spend their time feeling guilty over nothing, and that's not a good thing.
Ok, ajmo da je pitamo sada o ovom čudu.
Have you seen this before?
Don't take any notice of that.
Why?
James Wilson is a fantasist. He spends his time pretending to cast spells in the woods. He's not exactly a stable person. And, I heard that he was involved with growing cannabis.
Really?
Well, don't quote me on that.
So you don't think there's any truth at all to this?
None at all.
Dobro. Ništa, hvala,
Be
thank you.
back later on, if that's okay.
Thank you very much. Idemo sad da vidimo, pardon, idemo ovako do njih dvoje. Evo ovako, idemo kod nje.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
Mi smo već pitali o tome, pitamo onda o flyeru, mislim da smo se ostalo već pitali.
Have you seen this?
Yeah. It was all over college last year. James made it. Idiot.
So you don't agree with what I'm saying?
No, I don't agree with anything James says. He's absolutely crazy. He thinks that the government has been controlled by aliens, that we're all bugged. He's nuts.
Ok, ništa, idemo da intervjušamo Simona.
That's it for now. Thank you.
Idemo šta je sad Simon da kaže na to, da ovo ostalo smo se već pitali, ajmo da imamo.
Have you seen this before?
Oh, is this the thing that James did? Yeah, I've heard of it.
What do you know about all this? A third eye, I think they were called?
I don't really know anything about it. I mean, I've heard about Liam's death, but all I know about Three Eyes or whatever is on this flyer.
So you hadn't heard about Third Eye?
No, sorry.
Nema pojma ništa o tom. Dobro, ništa.
Have you seen...
Nećemo, to smo već pitali. Ajmo ovako,
you. Probably be back later.
Idemo malo do Atlasa. Pošto smo ovo se ispitali, idemo tamo da vidimo šta se dešava. Šta će tamo da nam kažu. Ok, ulazimo unutra. Više ne možemo da idemo tamo desno jer nam izgleda neka sekcija šta god već. Ovo smo da pitali, ajmo da ga pitamo.
Do you know about this?
Not much.
So you've never seen this before? You don't know anything about Third Eye?
Well, I don't remember seeing it now.
You don't recognize any of the symbols on it?
No, sorry.
Dobro. Mislim, dobro. Koliko je dobro, vidjet ćemo. Ajmo ovako. Njega moramo da pitamo nešto. On kaže da... Jao, da pa... A kad sam ga pitali, on je pričao o tom simbolu, koliko ja znam. Samo sekund, moram da nađem taj. Na masci kad je pričao o tome. Samo sekund, što bi ovo da... Ryan Massa simbol... Samo sekund, pardon. To nije ni maska bila, zato ja gledam zbunjen, sam rekao šta je ovo. Kad je pričao je o tome već, znači savezano sa maskom i nije uopšte, sad je kao ne prepoznaje simbol, a kad je pitovali smo ga o maci, on je rekao da zna. Taj triple goddess, šta god već, tako da tu neko laže, sad ćemo da vidimo šta je tačno pitanje.
Aha. Ryan, you've just told me all about the moon symbols on the mask, then you're claiming you don't know anything about the symbols on the flyer. It's all the same thing.
Oh, actually, yes. Sorry, yes, I do remember that.
So what did you know about Third Eye?
Oh, not much, really. Never came into contact with them.
Ovo je lik debelo
That
nešto.
explanation was way too short. Ryan's definitely hiding something.
Jeste, ali samo šta? Ajmo ovako. Ovdje je rekao da nije ni... Da, a ovo ma rekao da nije nikad imao kontakta sa Tredajem. A bilo je priča o tome. Ajmo da imamo.
Aha. According to the flyer, this Third Eye group was based at the village hall, is that right?
Was it?
And that's where you were based, wasn't it? Yeah, you said you invented the Atlas phrase free to be free while you were based at the village hall.
So I did.
So you must have come into contact with Third Eye at some point. You were using the same hall.
Well, I'm afraid I haven't been entirely honest with you, Inspector.
Pa vidim da nisi.
You see, Third Eye is, or was, Atlas under a different name. Sorry.
Atlas is Third Eye.
In a new improved form, yes.
And you ran Third Eye?
With Dad, yes.
So you must have known Liam. You didn't just meet him, did you?
Yes, I knew him, Inspector, but don't get your hopes up. All of this has been thoroughly investigated and cleared up.
You've been investigated about his death?
They dropped the case. We didn't have anything to do with it. Well, when I say drop the case, I mean a police investigation is one thing, but what the public thinks is another. They threatened to go public, and then James bloody Wilson started distributing his flyers, and that was it. No choice. It was an end to it.
You had to change the name.
We'd already paid the family an out-of-court settlement. Thought that was an end to it. But then James, his cronies, they wouldn't leave it alone. So we had to close down. Buy a new place. Rebrand. So eventually, we reopened here.
As Atlas?
As Atlas.
And it worked?
Up till now, yes.
So you knew James Wilson too?
We knew James, but he didn't know us as such. Oh, he was very quick to shoot us down, but he didn't do anything like actually coming to the course to see what he was about.
So James wouldn't know that you were now running Atlas?
Not unless he came to one of our courses.
And how much of all that stuff was true? ECT machines, brainwashing?
I'm afraid that exists only exclusively in the mind of Mr. Wilson. All we do is make better business people. We challenge their prejudices and presumptions. Why don't you come along and see for yourself? The course starts in 15 minutes. Excuse me, Inspector.
Ovaj lik je sumnjiviji od Dunava, to je smutniji od Dunava, pardon.
Well, you have my car at the moment. All right. All right. See you later. That was Dad. I have to go back. You can come and meet him if you like.
Well, I might come and have a chat.
Come with me.
Naravno, zašto da ne? Opa, prešli smo još jedan chapter. Dobro. Ajmo da ima.
Perfectly honest, Dad's a great businessman, but he lacks imagination. He does, however, believe in the power of the individual, when taught by the right teacher, of course. Ryan! In here. Just coming. He's through here.
To whom do I owe the pleasure?
Detective Inspector Jenks, I am investigating a death in the village. I believe you knew Kate Vine.
Oh, I thought all this was dealt with, Inspector. You do know that Kate Vine was a gherkin short of a big Mac. You do now.
Father.
You must forgive my son, Inspector. He still can't summon up the courage to come straight to the point. So what do you want to know?
Well, a few more questions if you don't mind.
But I do mind.
I ovaj čale nije normalan isto koji on.
Try asking an intelligent question, like, do I mind being quizzed about a once promising student who turned into a useless drunk? Ryan, would you mind leaving us for a while?
I'll go back to
Čovjek
set.
je poludodapist.
I have one or two things to prepare. Call me if you need me, Dad.
You may begin, Mr. Holmes, although I'm not going to be able to help you. I don't have much to do with the course nowadays, so I can't give you any hard information.
That's as maybe, but we
No, that's
need...
as is. But if you want my opinion, I'd be quite happy to give it to you. So, far away.
Okay, thank you. Wow, Paul certainly doesn't take any prisoners. It's obvious who's pulling the strings in this family, and I wonder what they got up to in their previous guise as Third Eye. 8 o'clock already.
Ok, da, možemo sad i da... Da li da čemu da ga pitamo ga od početka. A koliko se sjećam,
How well did you know, Kate?
možemo sad odemo i do onog objekta koji je otvoren
Hardly
os.
knew it at all. Met her a few times. But the course, that's about all.
So when was the last time you saw her?
Last Friday. I just popped out of the course and about 7.
Did you speak to her then?
It's possible.
And how did she seem? Was she happy, sad, preoccupied?
She was drunk.
What the fuck, ok. Ajmo pitamo o licenci.
Do you know if Kate had lost this? It's her driving license.
How would I know that?
You didn't see it lying around anywhere?
No.
Dobro. Ajmo na... Ovo da pitamo.
Did you know anything about Simon Thompson's bike?
No.
Ovo je prosti odgovori, da prosti odgovori.
Have you seen this before?
Looks familiar. Where did you find it?
It was, in the woods.
Presumably had something to do with Kate or a killer.
Well, that's what I'm trying to establish.
Shouldn't it be in an evidence bag, Inspector, in case of contamination?
I didn't have one with me, unfortunately.
Well, don't go testing it for DNA, will you? It's got yours all over it.
Dobro. Ajmo da pitamo ovom čudu.
Ever tried Simon's homebrew? Simon Thompson?
No, I haven't. I wouldn't touch anything that has had Simon's fingers in it.
Ok.
What do you know about this?
It's a freedom necklace. It's a symbol we use sometimes on the course. Little bird in cage flying away. Freeing themselves from their past is the analogy.
So do they get them when they join the course or something?
No, not as a rule. I think I bought one once as a present.
Oh, not for Kate, by any chance?
No, not for Kate. I can't really remember who it was for. A birthday present, maybe for one of the students.
Which student?
I've no idea.
Dobro. Ajmo broken window pub, ovdje ne možemo ništa da pitamo, ok, ajmo za maskicu.
What do you know about this?
Looks like a mask.
You don't recognize it?
Not particularly. Looks like a monarch mask.
What's a monarch mask?
Monarch is fancy dress outfitters. Ryan goes there sometimes.
Dobro. Ajmo pitamo ovdje.
What did you hear about an argument in the pub last Friday?
I didn't go to the pub last Friday.
You didn't hear anything about an argument in the pub?
Should I have?
No, that's fine.
Ok, ajmo da pitamo o ovoj knjizi.
Could you tell me a bit about this?
Had it designed by an agency.
And when was that?
Last year.
Is that when you started the business?
Yes, I suppose so.
Dobro. Ajmo da vidimo ovo Black Mirror.
Have you ever seen one of these before?
I believe it's a scrying mirror, pagan thing.
Ever used one?
Why would I use a scrying mirror?
So you have no interest at all in this sort of thing?
No,
Does the Atlas course use them at all?
not at all. Strange question.
Može biti strange, a može i da ne bude. Ajmo pitamo Liamu.
How well did you know Liam?
Liam who?
Liam, who took his life.
Oh. Well, as far as I remember, he was a good student, confident, outgoing.
You didn't notice any problems?
I believe he had problems at home.
Were you there when he died?
Yes.
And afterwards? You didn't see him after the meeting?
No.
What was Liam like that night?
No. Apart from being drunk, or possibly because of that, he seemed perfectly happy.
He was drunk?
Well, I assume the bottle in his hand contained whiskey and not lemonade.
Lots of similarities to Kate, don't you think? Drinking, depression, is that normal for the students?
People come into the Atlas course for quick solutions to their problems. And when they don't get them as quickly as they might have liked, sometimes their impatience gets the better of them.
Dobro, ajmo ga pitamo o ovom simbolu.
If I did this, would it mean anything to you?
I presume you've seen an Atlas student doing that.
Ah, so this is an Atlas thing.
Well, it wasn't exactly our idea. The students started doing it spontaneously to show commitment to the cause. Cute, really. Which student did you see doing that?
I'm not sure, but he was carving it into a tree. I told him to stop.
Did you really? Why?
Defacing public property.
No,
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. What's the punishment for that kind of thing nowadays? Prison sentence?
Oh, it's usually a fine.
All right. What about defiling public liberty? Does that carry a fine too?
Oddly enough, the student in question argued a similar point. Is that something you encourage on the Atlas course?
We encourage people who put ideas first and moral anachronisms second. The problem with the law, Inspector, is that it's out of date.
Well, I suppose that's a matter of opinion. However, you still respect it.
Respect it? I abide by it. We all play by the book, Inspector, but that's only because of the threat of possible incarceration.
Dobro, ajmo da imamo šta će da kaže o ovom čudu, za sad je i ovaj dosta
Know what this is, by any chance?
I've no idea. Gardening isn't my kind of thing. Rebecca would probably know. I presume you've met Rebecca.
Yes, I am.
I'm sure she'd enjoy telling you what it is. She's the kind of woman who likes to feel superior. Would probably marry a millionaire and then decide to run her own pub.
Yes, why was that?
Well, she isn't exactly housewife material. She likes to be in control, like Ryan. Shame, isn't it, that I'm in control of both of them?
Ma, nije normalno. Ajmo da imamo ovoj salvi da pitam.
Have you ever heard of Salvia divinorum, or magic mint?
Sounds like it might be a drug.
It's a hallucinogenic plant. Legal, as a matter of fact.
I'm not a drug taker, Inspector. I have no enthusiasm for voluntarily poisoning your brain.
And you've never seen anyone on the course taking it?
Well, if someone had, they wouldn't have done it openly. We don't allow drugs or alcohol in our course. We like to tell the students that success is the best drug. Whether you buy into that, of course, is another matter.
Dobro, ajmo Atlas phrase.
Can you tell me a little about the Atlas phrase, free to be free?
Where did you hear that?
I was talking to one of your students.
It's a little phrase we conjured up to summarize our objectives.
What is your objective, if you don't mind me asking?
Mine, or do you mean the course's objective?
On the course.
The objective of the course is to free people from bondage. We teach that most people are crippled by their past, by guilt, their attitudes, their beliefs, all that kind of nonsense.
Guilt cripples people.
Feeling guilty in business is like a meat eater feeling guilty in an abattoir. Guilt comes from the archaic emotional centers of the brain. It's a vestige of our animal ancestry, that's all. In business, you heed it at your peril. I'm sorry, Inspector. My house appears to be haunted. Would you mind closing the door?
So, you believe that guilt has no place in business?
None at all. I have few beliefs, Inspector, but that's one of them.
And what if you have done something wrong?
Well, that's the whole point. Guilt has nothing to do with it.
Interesting opinion.
Ok, i ajmo da pitamo o ovom flyeru.
What do you know about this?
So you've been graced with Goebbels' company already, have you? James, our local minister for propaganda. I suppose Ryan already told you about our actual previous incarnation.
He explained, yes.
Did he tell you anything scandalous?
Not unless you count the suicide.
Well, these things happen.
Was it your idea?
The suicide?
Third eye.
Yeah, I suppose it was. As my son had started to atrophy, I decided I ought to give him something to do.
And third eye was the same as Atlas, teaching business skills.
Very similar.
So Liam's death didn't prompt you to make any changes?
There was nothing we could do about Liam's death, Inspector, any more than we could do anything about Kate's. It was out of our control.
You can't blame me for wondering, Paul. 2 student deaths in 2 years.
It's called a coincidence, Inspector. I expect they ate fast food also. But you're not investigating all the local chippies, are you?
Ok, ajmo ovako. Znači, ajmo ovako. Znači, ne dozvoljavaju drogu i alkohol, ali, ajmo ovako, gdje je Liam D. Evo ga. Pardon, to nije Liam D, evo ga. Ali Liam je pio te noći ispred servera, tako da ajmo da vidimo šta će kaže o tome.
Aha. So if you don't allow drink or drugs onto the site, why did you allow Liam to drink whiskey all night?
Well, we did give him various warnings. Did try to stop him, but didn't work.
But you let him stay on the course?
Yeah, well, we couldn't throw him out. This isn't a primary school, Inspector. We're not the police. We can't enforce these rules. If they pay their fees, they're entitled to stay on the course.
And what if they want to take drugs?
As long as they do it with discretion, frankly, I don't care if they want to wipe or inject paint stripper all over their faces.
Do you store any alcohol at Atlas?
No.
Is there a kitchen?
Why, do you want to go down there and check?
Well, obviously you wouldn't mind if what you're saying is true.
Of course I wouldn't mind. It's past the lavatories down the corridor, but you won't find any drugs in there or alcohol.
Whether I find alcohol at Atlas or not, it probably isn't particularly relevant. But it's worth a look anyway.
Dobro, ajmo da pogledamo upravo. Svakako je vredno
I get the
pogledat.
feeling I might be seeing a lot of Paul tonight.
Bukvalno. Lik je ono što se kaže smorio za sve pare.